My Lords, I'm just going to return briefly to the question, Noble Lord Vaux, about the new owners of the software provider having full provision for the ending of support for Windows 10. I don't think the Noble Lord the Minister answered that, so perhaps he could write to us later on that subject. But the issue I actually wanted to raise was the broader questions that are raised by this incident, the robustness and resilience of critical official systems. I've got a written question down at the moment on the robustness and resilience against the solar storms that we're currently experiencing. That I'll park to one side, except to note that there's external threats, and as we've seen it again and again with the border gate systems, there's internal breakdowns. They will happen, as the Noble Lord Brown said. Does the government have a list, a register, of which systems there has to be an alternative manual arrangement that can deliver at reasonable speed and in reasonable volumes? There's obviously a risk here, and we're digitising so many systems. But is the government saying there are some things there has to be a manual emergency system for, and ensuring there is that provision?
I'd like to say to the Noble Lady that I did answer the question in that I genuinely don't know, so I will be writing. So this question has now ranged from matters of diplomacy to matters of astronomy, as far as I can tell. It's certainly covering a wide area. And I'm not an expert on either. She won't be surprised to know. As regards whether there is a list that needs to maintain a sort of manual resilience process, I don't know. Of course, there are certainly lists of priorities that must be maintained at all costs in order to maintain national security and border integrity and so on and so forth. I don't have that to hand, but I will investigate on the manual side of things, and if there's something useful to say, I'll come back.